Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather, and on this channel we like to walk a very fine line between a shopping addicted makeup monster and a responsible adult with a makeup hobby. Now, I really enjoy eyeshadow singles, duochromes, multi-chromes, blush, highlight, lip gloss, basically everything except pressed glitter, and today we're going to be doing my makeup inventory. I saw this originally with Glitter Fallout, Linda from Glitter Fallout, a fellow Maryland resident, but I saw that she had credited Kelly Gooch with the original video, so I'll try to leave their information down below for both of them, since that is like inspiration from inspiration. Basically, we're going to run through my counts for all of the categories of makeup, and they are all excessive. I'm hoping, as I kind of settle down into the products that I really like to expand upon, I can really minimize some of the products that I don't necessarily need a ton of, and over time we'll see how this list kind of grows and changes. Does anybody need this much makeup? No. I am a hoarder. Like, self-admitted. I'm not going to a meeting. You can't make me. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to do this kind of in the order that I would do mostly my full face, and it kind of is the way that I organize my makeup. I'm going to skip skincare stuff because and hair care, I don't really care about that stuff too much, but primers. So I don't have any numbers to compare to, of course, but my primer collection definitely has been growing unnecessarily. I definitely need to scale back for that. Right now I have a total of 17 primers. And foundation, same thing, 17. I know there's not 17 foundations in there that I really need. I could definitely tighten things up a little bit. So I think as I start using things up, these are two categories where I really want to start to narrow things down a little bit and keep a very small curated collection of my faves. Same with concealers. I have 14 concealers right now. 14. Who needs 14? Because I always use the same 2 concealers. So I definitely can whittle this down as I use things up. This is another category where I just want to use things up, kind of be happy that I got a chance to play with those things, and then not repurchase unless I run out of all my concealers. As far as powders, setting powders, I included both loose and pressed powders, and I have a total of 10 of those powders. Definitely another place where I could scale things back because I just don't use them every single time I do my makeup. The next category is bronzer and contour, and I really thought that I didn't have too many bronzers or contour, and I was wrong. I have 19 bronzer and contour products. That's a crazy amount. So apparently I've been a little crazy with bronzer recently. So again, another place where I can really scale things back, because it's not like that's a color cosmetic where you're buying tons of different shades or different finishes. It's bronzer. So hopefully I can cut that down a little. The next one to talk about is blush, and this is where we start getting into things where I have no self-control. So my single blush collection right now is at 59. Wow, 59, I can't even. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, but hopefully I can just try to limit how many I bring in, because I don't think there's much more I can get rid of. These numbers are actually following the declutter videos that I have filmed. I think those will end up coming out later than this video, so that's what you can look forward to in the collection portion of those videos. As far as highlighters, after my declutter, I kept 61 highlighters for singles. Some of those are liquid, some are gel, some are powder, some are colorful, and some are more traditional, kind of your champagnes and white gold kind of thing. I'm a sucker for highlighter, you guys. I'm a huge sucker for highlighter. I can't help it. It's a really beautiful category of makeup, so definitely, my goal is going to be to try to not make too much more of that particular category, but I just can't help it. Now, I also have a category for toppers and pigments, so any of my glittery liquid shadows, any pressed pigment, or not pressed pigments, I'm sorry, loose pigments, anything like that that I have, I included in the count, and it was 74. So things like Stila Glittering Glows, things like individual pigments that I got from Sugar Pill, those all fall into that category. And then I also separated out my loose flakes. So I do have some multi-chrome flakes, iridescent and colorful, and I have 25 of those at this point, although I think I have an additional 8 of them in the mail on my way to me right now. As far as eyeliners, I divvied it out to a couple different things. The first is gel eyeliners, for which I have 8, most of which are Lethal Cosmetics, and they are phenomenal. I have water activated liners for which I have 26. Some are iridescent multichrome, some are metallic, some are pastel. I have one that's kind of bright, and then I have a palette of 8 that I got from Profusion that I did count as 8. That is the purpley blue Jurassic Park palette. Then eye pencils. Those are my other eyeliners, and this is an area where I just exploded last year. I was buying eyeliner pencils all the time, just all the time. And I have 83 pencils. That does include my collection of like backups, which I didn't necessarily purchase but have been given as like free gift with purchase when I order things, or potentially in subscription boxes and things like that where you get like 100 black eyeliners. Yeah, I'm almost there. Next, let's talk about face palettes. I have 64 face palettes, and when I include face palettes, it's anything beyond a duo. So if it's 2 blushes, I counted it in my blush area for just like a duo of 2 products. But if it's like a blush highlight or a bronzer contour, it all went into my face palettes. And then anything beyond 2 items all went into my face palettes. So for that, I have 64. Again, a lot of things that I really like. Is it excessive? Of course it is. But they're things that I really like, so I'm not ready to get rid of them. Okay, let's go into eyeshadow. For single eyeshadows, I counted 2 different categories of singles. One is my like potted eyeshadows, which would be things like ColourPop Super Shocks, the gel eyeshadows from ColourPop, any kind of like toppers that were like that, Holika Holika, things like that. And I have 45 of those. I will say most of them are ColourPop though. As far as like magnetic pans, like just individual magnetic pan singles, 480. Ouch. That does include 28 pans that I depotted out of a rainbow palette just so I would have rainbow singles. So does that make it better? Not really, but it is what it is. As far as my eyeshadows, my goodness, I have a ton of eyeshadows. The palettes are probably my favorite of all the makeup products, so it is where by far I just have like a ton. So in the warm neutrals category, I have 29 eyeshadows. In the pinks, kind of pinky mauve type category, I have again 29 eyeshadows. In my colorful, could be rainbow, could be just a mix of different colors, doesn't fit in any of my other categories, miscellaneous type category, I have 119 palettes. My mini palettes, so anything that's about this big or smaller, like physically by size, I have 27 palettes. My mega palettes, anything that's like big, it usually sits right back there. That's my mega palette box, and that is 19 palettes. I have a category for blue and green eyeshadows, that is 25 palettes. I have 17 purple palettes and 19 cool toned neutral palettes. I also have a box that sits off to the side here, and that houses all of the palettes that I'm in the process of trying or have not yet tried, and that is 57 palettes. My box of shame. I'm working on it, you guys. I am really working on it. So I just finished actually going through and doing a second round of looks for all of my Profusion palettes, so I can do a ranking that should already be up or is coming very soon. Rude. And with that particular video, I wanted to do another look with each palette to make sure I knew exactly where I wanted to rank them. So for the last 2 weeks, I haven't been able to try any palettes, which stunk. So I'm very excited to get back into the swing of things and be getting through some of these palettes. And then lip products, I divided into 3 main categories of lip products. Lipsticks, glosses, tints, anything that's going to provide a little bit of color for all of the different colors, pinks, neutrals, oranges, reds, purples, abstract, obscure colors. I have 195 lip products. As far as like lip treatment, lip balms, lip masks, anything that is more of that like healing, restorative type product, I have 25 of those at this point. And for lip liners, I have 50 lip liners, again, across all the different colors. For lashes, I went through a phase like a year or so ago where I was buying strip lashes frequently. And there was a brand that was doing strip lash like sales in the, what is it, Lash Scoop. they were doing lash sales where you could get like 20 pairs of lashes for 20 bucks. So I have 40 pairs of lashes sitting in my drawer, like ready to use at a moment's notice. I do also have 2 pairs of magnetic lashes that are actually adherent to my bathroom mirror right now. As far as brow products, including brow powders, brow gels, brow pencils, brow pomades, and tinted brow gels, I have 13 products. For mascaras and mascara like lash primers, for which I only have 1 lash primer, but all of those things together, I have 9 of those right now. And then eye primers, including both my glitter glue primers and my just like eye bases, I have 16 of those right now. And then last but not least is perfumes. Woo. Full-size perfumes, like regular, you know, like sizable perfumes. I have 15 of those. And then as far as travel size, whether it is a rollerball or purse spray, I have 19 of those. So most people start doing stuff like this because they want to start a low buy. I do not have any intention at this point of doing a low buy. I have an excessive makeup collection, but I'm happy with where it is. Some people would be happy with bigger, some people would be happy with smaller, and that's just fine. Like, everybody has their own comfort level with the stuff that they have in their collection. For me right now, I've just done a declutter. I actually feel really good about where my collection is at and going forward with it, but I thought it would be interesting to count everything up and see how much stuff there is, because it's a lot. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and I'm going to catch you in my next video. Bye!